Let's get right into it. We're talking about the Diddy case. Okay, to begin, what did Diddy do to be prosecuted? There's some key allegations against Diddy, such as sexual assault and abuse, several accounts of that, sex trafficking allegations, drugging allegations, violence and retaliation, and industry cover-ups. We're gonna move on to, you guys believe he was innocent until proven guilty?
I can answer this one first. Just like in general, I feel like innocent until proven guilty is good lawfully, but like for a social standard, it's really hard because a lot of people, when they're accused of one thing, they immediately get prosecuted by the public, and like it can ruin a person's image if it's false. So I believe it's strongly an innocent until proven guilty, until a point though, because like if they have a history of doing something and they like do it again, I feel like, you know, you're most likely guilty.
Yeah.
So
Kind of like bounce off of that. Like I look a really similar point of view in that aspect. Like there's some certain cases where there's just so much evidence, and it's like, especially when it's super public, there's like just so much evidence. So like you kind of already in your head depict if he's innocent or guilty. But then there's also certain cases where I feel like you can't really have a trial by public. You kind of need to be like you kind of need to let the courts do their job. So like I kind of do believe in innocence until like someone proves to me that there's like actual evidence and like they're actually guilty and there's something actually behind the fact. But I do feel like there definitely needs to be a sense of innocence and letting the person kind of defend themselves before we automatically guilt them. If that makes sense.
That's kind of what I said too. Like, I think lawfully innocence until proven guilty is good, but like also with all the lawsuits that he has against him, like in the media's eyes, he's already guilty.
Yeah. There's already just so much evidence against him kind of for the public to see.
What do you guys think the victims took so long to speak up?
Yeah, so in an article I read, a guide to many lawsuits against Diddy, a lot of the people stated that they were threatened with violence, and I think also a lot of the victims knew that he had this wealth and the power, which could have intimidated them into silence. And it's hard to speak up when it's someone so public because of the backlash you're gonna face, and people might not believe you.
Yeah, same thing with an article that I read on like the United States District Court Southern. It was just basically like the whole, it's like everything that he's done. A lady named Cassandra Ventura, she worked under him, and it was kind of like she was threatened with losing her job, and you know, finding a job in this economy is hard, so it's like you either keep silent or lose your job.
And one of the NBC articles I read, it was a little dated. It was like in 2023 or I can't remember when, but it was whenever the video of him was released, like beating his first wife, not first wife, but girlfriend at the time, I believe. And one of the things that they said is that as soon as that video was kind of released, there was kind of like a lot more people. So I feel like there was that aspect that he has so much power and he's like all this wealth and like scaredness in a sense from the people. But once like the first person really came out and like stood against him, I feel like that brought a lot more people to be more comfortable to really share their story.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
What do you guys think about like the things he had, like the baby oil?
I think there's some definite like laughing stake in that, but also I really don't know like how real some of it is, because I feel like the public kind of like blew that up in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously if he's over hundreds of body of baby oil, what's he doing with it in a sense? But I feel like there's definitely parts of that though that the public really just takes to like the next level. And
Yeah.
like kind of exaggerates.
I feel like once it became a meme, that's when a lot of accusations.
for sure.
Yeah.
How do you guys think this compares to like R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein?
Honestly, I just think in the entertainment like industry, there's a lot of weirdos, mainly because like they're like held up to like a podium, especially like if you're really wealthy or really rich, so you kind of like lose like, or like there's a power imbalance made between you and like a normal person. So I think like that gets their mind, and then they all become corrupt because a lot of these things are like the same exact like cases of like sexual assault and stuff like that, and just like abuse in general. So it's definitely something just with the industry.
Yeah, their trials are really similar in like the sense of like the different laws that they broke, like the sexual abuse, assault, stuff like that. But then there's also like with your power imbalance, with like the Bad Boy Records, like Diddy's record label, it really talked about like how he really took his artists and the people that he signed onto his direct label and really used his power and like his stance with the label to really make them do whatever he wants, however he wants, and to really whoever he wants. So I feel like that imbalance really shows within his own label himself.
I think too that like these people know that they have so much power, so they feel like in a sense that they're untouchable and that they can just use their power and wealth to like get out of the situation that they're in or try and cover it up.
For sure. Also, kind of want to talk to you guys about what do you guys think about all the like the settlements? Like, do you think someone signing a settlement kind of determines guilt right there? Or do you think most of the time it's just they're trying to go quickly?
No, I think that's just automatic guilt because like, what are you paying for? Like, what are you trying to hide? Like, it's just like
Exactly.
so.
And it affects especially the people on the list, such as like Donald Trump and with like J-Lo, all those people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What responsibilities do media outlets have when reporting on high-profile legal cases involving the celebrities?
So I kind of like, this is one of the questions I like at the most. It's like, I feel like the media, like, especially in this case itself, it really like kind of puts him on trial before he even goes to trial. So I feel like they really need to be accurate with their information and like be more fair and unbiased because he is such a celebrity. So like he's gonna have lots of like people that he can go to like try and base the media. But I feel like there needs to be like those solid reporters, and it's really their duty to like just represent the actual facts of what's going on. So like the public has a good view of what's actually happening.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of what I said. It's just like avoid bias and like protect all parties. Like obviously, especially like with whoever worked over Diddy, like his labels, they're trying to protect him. But I feel like you should just be on both sides because if you're really protecting him, I don't know, that kind of shows that like it shows that he kind of did something in my eyes. So
Yeah, I kind of said something similar, just like reporting on the facts instead of like just these theories that are obviously blown out of proportions and taking it more seriously instead of like just making jokes about it and then also looking for ways to support the victims.
An example of that is I have some allegations from different victims, some examples, and I'm gonna tell you guys one. Cassie Ventura allegation. In November 2023, singer Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of rape and domestic violence. The lawsuit alleged that Diddy subjected her to years of abuse, including physical beatings and forcing her to engage in sexual acts with male prostitutes while he filmed.
yeah, and a lot of because I read the same thing. A lot of those people are actually people in his label, which is weird too.
Yeah, and I see,
Yeah.
a lot of them are, and I feel like his allegations are repeatable. Like, he does the same thing many times, and a lot of people are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I think just he has like such a podium to where he thinks he's on such a different level that he feels like he can just take whoever he wants and really just do whatever he wants to them, honestly.
Yeah. What do you guys think is the future for Diddy? Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
Well, with the trial, there's obviously going to be some sort of legal reprimands
Yeah.
that he's going to have to go through. So we'll just have to wait and see really what that is, and like if he does go to jail, for how long, who else goes to jail with him. Because like I was looking, I can't remember which article it was, but like the white parties, like there's so many high-profile people that are connected to these things. Like you have like the LeBron joke, ain't no party like a Diddy party, and then you have like just the Smiths, you have just all these high-profile people. Like what's going to happen to them? How tied in, how incorporated really is all of these big names to Diddy. So that's what I'm most looking forward to with this case.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to that. Like, people like Donald Trump is gonna be our president was at the parties.
Right.
What's time do we got?
Can't even read that. We got some time, I think.
We're at 10 minutes.
All right, does anyone else have like a couple, like one or two more questions, maybe?
Two more thoughts.
personal thoughts, beliefs. Do you think he's guilty or not?
I think he's obviously guilty.
Definitely guilty.
I mean,
Yeah, they're getting to a
Pretty
point.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like I don't know, cause like honestly, I feel like there's a chance that he might be able to like really get little to no years in jail, cause it's so hard to pinpoint down everything that he did to the point, and especially like everybody that he affected. So, and like you said, it's like, gonna be interesting to see really who goes to jail and like stuff like that, cause it's crazy how long it's been happening and how many people were in it. So.
Yeah.
I think too was interesting. I read somewhere, I don't remember where, but like he was already getting special privileges in jail. Like he was allowed, I think it was like TV or something,
Yeah.
which I think is interesting. I also think that this case, depending on what happens and the outcome of it, can help other victims from other cases speak up against these public figures.
True. Yeah, I feel like this case is gonna be like I mean, there's been R. Kelly, there's been Harvey Weinstein, but I feel like there's so much like evidence and like with how media is today, like this case is gonna be probably like the start of my guess of really taking down a lot of like what the bad stuff about what's going on in Hollywood and like this entertainment industry. So I feel like this is gonna be a good stepping stone into like cleansing that aspect of what's really going on.
like Epstein's Island too.
Yeah.
Was very similar. They like ridiculously similar. Having like a list too that movies from a lot of big power people.
Yeah. That is really similar.
Alright.
All right, well, good conversation.